This is going to be on YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
What is Twitch?
It's like for...
It's kind of for gaming.
Yeah, video game streaming. I'm just going to try and see if I can find the...
Haven't practiced for a bit long.
Oh, I know.
So I keep having broken strand.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just oiling her up a bit because.
Now both of them are on. Okay, good.
Oh, yay. All right, well, hopefully that'll, oh yeah, that should move things along a bit better. All right. Thought I remembered that.
I don't have enough tools to wear this.
There you go. There you are. Okay, hi. Snowed in and spinning. Hi, guys. Hello.
There's people on already?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Say hi.
It's on
to
time.
Brenda, Sherry.
Hello. Oops.
All right. Let's see how well I remember how to do this.
Okay.
Okay. I keep losing my strand.
Yay.
I gotta scoop myself up more here.
You're replying to people?
Yeah, so I think it
Then
is
what are
set
you-
up so that basically I can type once and it goes to both things.
Ooh.
Okay, great. So that looks like that's working. That's working. There we go. Let me see if I can see it from here.
I should definitely pre-draft this.
Yay!
Oh, it
Megan,
looks so
hello.
nice.
I know, isn't
Whose
it
is
so
that?
pretty? This is Katrina's. This is Crafty Jack's.
Oh, yeah.
This is
She is
Polyworth.
good.
Oh dear, Polyworth and silk. Oh
Yeah,
dear,
silk.
why did I start out with silk?
Is that from Katrina?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I want to make it into, Katrina was teaching me how you can do a center pull ball to do the applying, so I want to try that.
Yeah. I think I will do that.
Yeah, because I've never done it before, so I thought,
Only if I can get to finish this today.
yeah.
And then I can start flying.
Okay, so let's see. You guys can see yourselves here. Everybody is here, and Brigid's here too.
She's
So
behind.
this is a little bit weird because there's a little bit of a delay. So whatever you're seeing, it's kind of like it happens 2 or 3 seconds later.
We can see the past.
But basically, welcome, hello everybody. If you guys have never
Hello.
been to the studio before, this is the SweetGeorgia Studio. This is the inside. This is kind of like the front shop area that we have, and there's like yarns here that are dyed, fibers here that are dyed. We host our knit nights in here twice a month. Charlotte is at every one of our knit nights, and everybody can say hi. This is Charlotte.
Hello.
So Charlotte is our assistant production manager here at the studio, and then also here is Leah. Leah is, what's your title?
Oh god, I can never remember. It's like educational media assistant person.
So Leah helps me out with the school at SweetGeorgia, and she does like a lot of the web stuff in the background. She does a lot of the editing. She used to do a lot of the podcast editing and everything. And then Brigid just walked into the studio. And
I just lost the end of my yarn. I don't even know where it is. I don't even know where it
I'm
is.
gonna grab the fiber.
so you can wave. This is Brigid. So if you ever call or email the studio, Brigid is the one who is answering everything. Yeah, so everybody's kind of back from Knit City, and I am amazed at how quickly you guys turned around this entire room. This room was kind of disassembled for the show, but now it's all back and up and running, which is quite amazing.
Getting close to it. Getting close to it. Okay, I'm gonna get my fiber.
Oh man, I can't even find the end of.
Oh, if you want to just grab ribbons and stuff, the pink bag there. Yeah.
I can't even find the end of
You can't
where.
find your end?
Yeah, I can't find where it's
no.
snapped off. Cause like, of course, my
If
first.
you do a very thin one,
I
like
don't
really.
know. It's hidden in there, so
I know.
might be an hour of Leah trying to find the end.
Oh no.
That's all right.
So we're not doing a Spinzilla team this year, as you can see, but we are still spinning anyways. I think I'm gonna keep spinning the stuff that I was spinning on the weekend. And so this is the yak and silk fiber. Charlotte, what are you spinning there?
Katrina has a fiber blending class,
Yeah,
and then this is what I did from that class.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so you made bats?
Yeah, so I made bats. I can't remember what's inside. I guess it's some forward silk and some tussar silk. And some silk
Tabitha
noil.
is watching. Tabitha's watching right now. So say hi,
Really?
Tabitha. Hi, Tabitha.
Have you started your yak and silk, Tabitha? The one we sent to you, you just got it.
It's weird to be like talking and then not knowing.
Yeah,
if
not knowing
she
what you're
is
saying.
live.
Did you say something?
It's like you wait.
Yeah.
I will catch you up
Yeah,
later.
I know you expect an answer and then you're like, oh,
Well, I can kind of see it. Like I'm trying to see if I can see the YouTube chat here. Yeah. Okay. Somebody said Scotch tape, Leah. Use it to find the end.
Oh, that's nice.
And then Tabby
Good.
says, I
See,
want to
I'm-
learn to make my own bats. Hello. Hello.
Scotch tape. Do you
Oh, Katrina's here too.
Oh,
Hi.
Scotch tape, eh? I think I may have screwed it up already.
Packing
though.
tape.
Packing tape, that's true.
Want some packing tape?
Sure, do you want me
Yeah,
to?
for sure.
Thanks so much, Bridget.
Everybody's saying hi on the chat. That's nice.
Aww.
Hi, Sharan. Hi, how are you? I'm looking at my phone saying hi, but I should actually be talking this way to say hi.
it's really hard.
Yeah, it's trying to figure out which direction to talk.
Well, see, and I think, yeah. See, I've been pulling at it like a big dummy, so I think that's gonna make it.
So Brenda, you're asking about the yak and silk. That's the yak and silk that I'm spinning right now. I was just stripping it into
Find
a couple
the
of
end.
finer
Where are
strips
you?
like this.
And where are you?
And then I've kind of been spinning it like from end to end, and then when I get to the end, I go to the other. So if I spin from the yellow end to the purple end, the next strip that I spin the purple end to the yellow end because I want there to be continuity of color. It kind of makes like a mirror image of the color. I didn't want to go straight from purple back to yellow again because that's a little bit too jarring. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I started spinning this on the weekend at Knit City during our spinning demo with Katrina.
No, this is doing good.
And I'm not spinning it actually from end to end. I'm actually breaking it off in chunks, folding it over, and then spinning from the fold.
Oh, you didn't use the lid.
And let's add some more tension.
You need more tension.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, because this wheel was turning, but your bottom is not.
I'm the classic case that like any level can join in.
Oh, I'm the example of what not to do. It's like, don't lose your end.
What not to do? Just look over this
I'm also going to be a
direction
great student and just give up and start a new bobbin and just be like, whatever.
There's not a lot
It
of
is
opportunities for us to sit down and do this.
Okay.
So
Thank
it's
you.
kind of like the Spinzilla time is the time
Let's see.
that we get to do it.
Pretty much.
will
So
get it
I'm
out.
just gonna give up and start a new bobbin.
to get it to
Why
attach
not?
to this. Do you tie it on? No, some people
Ain't
tie it
nobody
that way
got time for that.
together
No.
to start.
I just do this so you open
Oh yeah. Okay. And then
Start a new bottom.
yeah, fit it into it.
Hi, Judy. Hi.
Do a U shape.
Tabitha should come up for carding
Okay,
class.
cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Tabitha should just come up and live in Canada.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird that you hear everything twice. So for Brenda, I am using a long draw. So I'm holding the fiber over my finger, holding it sort of spinning from the fold, and then I draw out from there. So I have to adjust the tension so that it's perfect. Somebody calling me?
Oh, I thought I turned my phone sound
No,
off.
that was my phone. How do I cancel the call? I don't want to call.
Oh no, I think it's the computer again.
The computer, my phone rings the computer.
Oh,
I don't know how to make that stop.
I know that always happens to me. I'm working and then somebody phones me and I
You
get
mute your call.
double ringing and it always scares me.
So Tabitha, okay, if you guys don't know, Tabitha is our design director. She lives in Tennessee. She's not here right now, but she is going to come in January. Hi, good morning. Hi. Hi. You guys are live on YouTube right now.
Famous.
So yeah, Tabitha is coming in January, and Katrina is saying that maybe she can host a carding class in January at the same time.
Ooh.
Perhaps we can get that to happen.
A spinning class at the same time.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
carding
like a
class
carding
at the
class.
same, the same time that Tabitha's here before we go to TNA.
We'll join you on that one. Tabitha.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd love a carding class. See, I had a whole plan last night that I was gonna watch.
Of what you were gonna spin?
Well, actually, I was gonna watch the videos again on School of Sweet Georgia, so I could like refresh myself on the beginning and stuff. And then I don't know, I didn't.
What did you do?
I think I ate chips in front of the TV instead, you know. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, oh right. Responsible adult lessons with Leah.
Very honest.
Okay, we're gonna try this again.
Did you find the end finally? Oh, you're gonna start a
No,
new
I gave
bobbin.
up.
Nice. Nice.
I'm a good example to everybody.
So you found it?
No.
No.
I'm starting a new bobbin. I'll struggle with the other one at home. I'll find it eventually. I'll give it to my cats. They'll find the end for me.
So I think either Brenda or Sherry was asking, like, what do you make with the yak and silk fiber afterwards? Like, after you spin this into yarn, what would you use it for? How would you ply it? I spin all mine with this sort of long draw, spinning from the fold kind of technique, and then afterwards I would maybe, because it's quite fine, I might Navajo ply it, keep the colors all together, and then I'm going to weave something with it. But
Oh,
Charlotte,
that's
I think
cool.
you spun this yak and silk last year, or the year before?
No, it
No,
was,
you didn't?
Rachel.
Rachel spun it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a
What did she
has
make
a
out
blog
of it?
about it.
What did she make out of it? I don't
She
remember.
made it into a lace yarn. I don't remember if she knitted or do something anything with it. I can't remember it. Yeah, but it looks really nice.
Yeah.
It looks like it's very good for shawl.
For shawls? I was thinking because it's kind of a precious fiber, I didn't want to put it in the warp. I'm thinking just to use it in the weft and use some kind of regular yarn for the warp.
You're very into weaving now, right?
Yeah.
You want everything weaving.
I want everything to be woven.
Well, and you got another loom this weekend or
Yeah, you
last
got
weekend.
another one.
Yeah.
So is that the same thin as the one you got? Like the larger version of it?
So this one is called the Sample It loom. It's 16 inches, I think it is, the 40 centimeters or whatever. And the weaving width is 15 inches. It came pre-warped because I just took the demo one, whatever they had on the table, because they said they had it lacquered. They finished it, because normally it comes unfinished. But to do their product photography, they put like a nice lacquer on it so that it's a little bit shiny, and then they take photos of it. So they're like, oh, if you're going to make videos with this loom, then take the shiny one. So I'm like, okay, it's pre-warped, it's all set up. I don't have to do
It was quite
anything.
impressive that I was
I
like,
know, I
wow,
thought
that
you had
was
already
progress.
done stuff on it.
No.
I was like,
No.
okay, how did she go to Knit City and make all that and do what?
exactly.
Like, yeah, I was confused by that picture on Instagram. I was like, holy man, Felicia's like weaving master. Like, look how fast she did that.
No, that was all demo warp.
Is that the one you're going to use for the SOS class?
I think I'm going to use that loom for the SOS class. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, just to make it a little bit more easy and accessible, because it's not at all an expensive loom. It's
So
like,
is that,
it's pretty easy to get started. It's a little bit, it's kind of like the wider cricket. It's kind of like the 15-inch cricket. It's a little bit like that.
but it looks nicer than the cricket.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Maybe the polishing, because it did look pretty fancy.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's easier to move your reed around. Because I found some difficulty moving around the cricket reed.
The thing that I found nice about that loom is it's got some notches on the other side, and so I basically just put it up against my office table, and it just sits there on your lap, and you put a little bit of tension on it, and then it doesn't go anywhere and doesn't move. Because I had that knitter's loom, the wider knitter's loom, it's like 20 inches or something like that,
Yeah.
and I got a stand for that, but it wobbles a little bit on the stand, so if maybe I didn't tighten it properly
I
or
had it
whatever.
on the table, it was okay.
Yeah, I think on the table it'll be fine if you clamp it
Because
to the table.
it has like edge for you to kind of clean on the table. It will stay on the table.
Yeah.
I just need to find a chair that goes with the right height. Why are we talking about weaving or spinning?
We can talk about anything. I was wondering, like, with that kind of like loom, like what could you make with that? Could you make like a scarf with that, or
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
like you could make a scarf with that little of a loom, right? It would just be like a really thin scarf.
Yeah, you can definitely make a scarf.
Because that's what I want to make. I just want to make scarves or tea towels. Like, I think that's kind of like the things that I would make if I learned how to weave.
I want to make a scarf for sure.
Because if it's 15 inches, then you can make it however, you don't have to warp the whole width. You can just warp 9 inches or 10 inches
Yeah.
or whatever you want. But I thought it might be a nice one because then you could at least, it's wide enough to do placemats. They have a smaller one that's 10 inches, something like that.
Oh,
and,
see, now I'm gonna end up
that's just
buying one of
scarves.
those too.
10 inches. That's similar to cricket.
I don't know if you guys were on Instagram, but you could see Felicia enabling me via Instagram, like, oh, it's small enough to fit in your place. You could totally do
You
it.
could totally
You could
do
totally
it.
do it. Yeah, when I first started working for SweetGeorgia, I certainly did not have a wheel. I certainly was not really into spinning, but then everybody here kind of spins, and it's just like, you know, peer pressure. Totally peer pressure, but you know, it's good peer pressure. Oh, see, I'm letting my twist get into my reserve fiber.
That's what I just did.
I know I'm not doing the triangling like I'm supposed to. I don't know. Wait. I'm twisting. Oh.
So I wonder if anybody out there is actually on a Spinzilla team. Is anybody actually doing Spinzilla? Whoa, all these chat messages.
A lot of messages. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, it just wasn't taking it in all of a sudden. And then so this was.
So Cookie, I am also
Just keep on
right-handed.
doing that.
Yeah, just tightening it.
I'm also right-handed. I don't know if I spin backwards from other people, but I always hold my fiber in my left hand
Too slow.
and I draft forward with my right hand. But I've seen people do it both ways.
Is it because it's kind of wrapped on a hook?
And you know, I also
maybe
kind
I
of
could do it just
thought
as
that
well
when
when
I
I
hurt
stop.
my thumb from drafting terrible fiber, I thought maybe I could change my spinning style and then learn to hold the fiber in my right hand and then draft forward with my left hand. I'm sure you can do it either way. It's whichever one feels more comfortable for you. I think it's kind of like skateboarding or snowboarding, like you always have a direction that you feel more comfortable in. Doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, there's always going to be one foot forward or one hand forward that feels a little bit more comfortable than the other.
Man, I have to go back to my spinning 15 minutes a day because I have lost some of that finer control I had. This is going to be a much thicker yarn.
That's okay.
Yeah, I spin the same as Puddle Glum Megan. Mitchell's Creations, hello. No Spinzilla this year, just spinning for fun. Last year I spun a Shetland vest, but don't have much time for that this year. Yeah, Spinzilla is always, it's right, like the day right after Knit City, and everybody's kind of like, it's a bit much. So we thought it would be nice to just relax and spin rather than be all competitive about yardage and all that kind of stuff. You guys can maybe hear some dyeing going on in the background. There's a lot of water turning on. Water going in the background.
Now David's dying now.
Yeah, if you guys ever come to visit us, we have this space in the front where people come and sit and knit and look for yarn and things like that, but then just located right behind Charlotte over there is the actual one half of our dye studio. That's Hubert. He's camera shy.
Yeah.
Charlotte, you should hold up your bat that you're spinning. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
Oh, yeah,
that.
this one.
Yeah, I don't even think that
pretty.
Katrina might have missed it because I don't think she was online when you were saying that you made that in Katrina's class,
Yeah, I
in her
made it,
parting
yeah.
class.
I think it's last year? Yeah, last summer.
Yeah.
Finally get my hand on it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love all the subnoil that she provided during the class. This is something we don't have in the studio. We have other fibers now.
I still have yak and silk from like 2 years ago
Same
that we
here.
dyed. I started spinning it and then I never finished. And it's just
Oh,
been
you still
sitting
have the
there.
bobbin?
I still have the bobbin, I still have half the fiber.
I don't usually have much left over yarn on the bobbin. Usually if I started a project, I finish. And after I finish, it might take me a long time to start the next project.
What's your next project gonna be?
I have this. I brought also Katrina stuff that I bought. from her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I want to
Oh my
spin a
gosh, it's so
gradient.
cute. I didn't see that
Yeah,
one.
She just created a bunch of colors I love.
That looks
Nice.
like cotton candy. That looks,
Every time
yeah.
I go past her shop, I need to buy something.
I got, I didn't buy any fiber from Katrina this year, but I got some unicorn scissors. Because I thought I had lost my bird scissors that my dad had bought me for my birthday last year, and I was really sad. I found it in my office this morning.
Oh, that's good.
Cause yeah, I knew that's what I had to do. I had to buy a new pair of scissors because then I knew I'd find the old ones because that's how it goes. And I totally did. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I felt actually really bad because I'd been blaming my cats the whole time because I thought they had like found them on the floor and then like knocked them under the fridge or something, and they hadn't. So I had been falsely accusing them this whole time.
This morning I couldn't find any of Russell's jackets. And then, oh yeah, I was like freaking out. Like, how come you don't have any jackets? And then we got to school and then discovered 3 of his jackets in the lost and found.
Really?
I'm like, where have you been putting your jackets? I don't know.
So you'll pick him up without his jacket?
I pick him up and I'm like, where's your jacket? And then he's like, I don't know.
What? Oh.
What jacket?
I don't keep track of those things. Like,
Oh yeah, speaking of Katrina, I got this on the weekend. I got this. This is a spindle that Katrina's husband Eric made. They're starting to make drop spindles. It's very lovely. But it's a little bit more portable than other spindles that I've had because this has like a little bit of a shorter shaft. It's very nice.
I also have my I forgot what this called. Wolf's hook. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
This is also from Katrina.
Oh,
Her husband made it.
oh, Eric's making those too? Yeah?
oh, that's really cute.
That is so cool,
Actually,
you know?
that's kind of a better shape because it's longer. Yeah, your hand,
She
whereas
has
like,
all different kind of shape available.
yeah, this one's so tiny that you really have to like, yeah, it's almost kind of, yeah.
I just go and
I didn't
go
even
and touch
see
everything.
those.
I think not this year, but during Fibers West. I
See,
got-
and I think that's the biggest problem about Instagram is now I'm seeing everybody's stash from Knit City, and I keep seeing things that I missed. Like, well, I think Felicia, you got like a bag from like Mrs. Brown Bags or something, and it's got that really cool like yarn print material.
But
on
that was a
it.
gift, actually. Yeah, we got those as gifts. It was very nice. But yeah, Jody from the Grocery Girls, she has those bags that she makes, Mrs. Brown bags,
Oh, they're
and
so cute.
they're all available online, so you can get them online. But nobody was selling them at the market, which is
No, I didn't see it.
too
Oh,
bad.
okay.
So I think that she might do something like that for
Okay.
next year, maybe. Yeah.
Because I was wondering, because I saw a bunch of people with them, and I was like, oh, those are really cute. But then as I was walking around, I never saw them.
Yeah.
Um,
Even the security guard was asking me where I got the bag from.
Oh, really?
It's cute.
It's so bad because now, like, I have so much more ideas for Christmas of stuff that I want. And this year I thought I didn't want anything for Christmas. I'm like, yeah, I don't need anything, like, whatever. But now that I've been to Knit City and now I'm seeing everybody's pictures of stuff, and now I have too many ideas.
I think that that's actually the biggest thing at Knit City is that I just found all these projects that I want to make. So now I'm going to kind of blow up my knit list and make it all from scratch again.
Blow up your what?
Like I had a list of things that I was going to make.
Oh.
Now I have to like completely
Redo it?
revise all the plans, all the ideas.
It's like what you did to your Ravelry queue.
Yeah, the queue started to fill up again, so I'm going to delete it all again and then make a new plan. I saw some very smart ladies walking around with notebooks, and every time they found ideas, they would just like write it down, and
Yeah.
then you can plan, right?
Yeah, there were some really
Organized
well
people.
organized,
Yeah.
like prepared, prepared people. Oh, man,
Experienced
it's very impressive.
shoppers.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
very
can't
clever.
do that.
Well, that's like my friend Jessica. She was so prepared for Knit City like months ahead, and she'd be asking me like, okay, well, what are your plans for Knit City? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna walk around and see pretty things, you know. So,
And I'll
but
just buy
actually, yeah, but she inspired me, which was really good because I actually found that this year's Knit City, I'm the happiest with what I bought. I think just because I have projects for everything I bought. I'm super excited because I found some really beautiful yarn from Abundant Earth Fibers. I think they're down in the Washington State area. I think they're on like a little island somewhere, I forget. And I found some really great like natural like gray yarn. And I want to try and make thrummed mittens because I found that online and I thought it was really cool. So it's where you like use like actual roving and knit it into the mitten. So then on the inside it's super poofy and it's like insanely warm. So I want to make those for my dad for Christmas because he's always outside in the snow.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because afterwards, I found out that Abundant Earth was that company that had their entire stock stolen.
Yeah.
Like on the way to a show, like I guess they had all their yarn in a trailer, and then
Really?
they parked it
Somebody
outside a
stole the
hotel, and
trailer.
somebody stole just the entire trailer. So all their stock was gone for the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the details, but something about how they did get the trailer back, but it was empty.
Like, what would people do with all that yarn? Like, I would hope that nobody would actually buy that yarn or, like, be
Yeah.
kind of suspicious, but who knows?
It's very sad.
People are weird. But, yeah, so I was glad to see that they were still a knit city and obviously still doing well, because that could be pretty devastating for a small business to have, like, your entire
inventory stolen.
Well, and I just thought, too, like, all the work. Like, that would have just been so disheartening. Like, just the hours of work that went into spinning all that yarn and packing it and prepping it and labeling it, and it's just like it's all gone. And then you have nothing for the show. So I'm super excited to use their yarn. And I got some from Yarn Inc. as well, and I'm excited to try her stuff out because I know my friend got some last year and the colors are awesome. So because I'm also going to try to learn how to knit brioche. We will see how that goes.
You guys saw I bought yarn from Lichen and Lace, and the owner there is Megan, and Megan used to own a yarn store in Toronto called Let Us Knit in Kensington Market, and then she sold the store to someone else, moved to New Brunswick, and then started dyeing yarn, and it's beautiful, so nice. I'm thinking I'm gonna weave with that one too. So Cookie's asking if we live stream very often. I think this is like the first time we've done
Yeah, I
this.
was about to say, is it because it's so bad or is it because it's so good?
Yeah, she's wondering if we would do this more often.
I would. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't
That'll be
mind.
interesting.
It's kind of good because it just kind of forces you to schedule time to do stuff like this. And so I find it just makes you prioritize it. It's like, oh, I have to go do this because of this. And I think that's kind of good because I think it's so easy now to not prioritize
Making
like
things.
you time for yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's so much easier to guilt yourself into being like, well, I should do this or I should do that, and then by the time you know it, it's like 10 p.m. and it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just go to bed. So
You need to make some time to take care of yourself.
I remember you asked people questions on the Taking Back Friday film, right? People like to have it pre-recorded or that will
Or have it live,
do
right?
live
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think it was half and half. I think like some people really, really like the pre-recorded, and then some people really like having a little bit of like this kind of interaction and stuff. So maybe to do both.
I think so. Yeah. Well, because the Taking Back Friday is nice because it's got structure to it, but it's sometimes nice to have things that aren't structured and then some things are. And
Lena is doing a book report while she's listening to us.
Oh.
It's very nice.
ooh, which book?
Find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out later.
And Megan, this is exactly why we do these things, because before I met any of these ladies, I didn't know anybody else who spun or knit or did anything fiber related. It's very isolating, like when you're out on your own and you don't know anybody who does any of this. And yeah, that's why the internet is there, and the window of people, yeah, is through this little camera. So it's kind of neat.
You know, it is, yeah, it's so funny. Like, I especially remember when I was really sick a couple years ago, the internet was so nice. Like, because even if I was too sick to go out, or if I felt too exhausted to go do things, I didn't feel alone because I
Yeah.
still had people to chat with. I could FaceTime with my friends, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it really does, I think it does kind of just open up the world a lot. And there's so many people that I would not have met. And I found this in the, like, I guess I've been working for, oh my gosh, I think I've been working for SweetGeorgia for 2 years now.
That's great.
And it's so funny because,
Time flies.
yeah, I know, I couldn't believe it. And my friend was saying to me, she's like, you know what? I'm kind of jealous of you. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, what? And she says, you're so involved in the fiber community now. And I thought about it, and this knit city was so different for me because I knew so many more people. And actually that's kind of what inspired my buying as well, because I had so many people I wanted to visit and support. So actually it was a really awesome knit city because it kind of felt more like, it felt like a family reunion.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I got to see Katie from Nekozuki Knits. I got to see her, you know, I got to see Katrina, I got to, you know, see everybody from SweetGeorgia. Like, it really didn't, like, even though I was really, really tired on Monday, because it was a lot of work, but it felt more like going to a big family reunion than like, oh man, I gotta work this weekend and do this and do that. Oh, and we got to see Deb and Keith, and like it really, like, it just feels like a big family reunion rather than work.
Yeah, I think it's very helpful when you know people.
That's also why I like our midnight. I think it's like really great.
Yeah.
We have this offer.
Yeah. I like that we have knit night here too. I wish I could just come more often, but evenings are really hard. Like literally
have
anything.
kids, yeah.
I have kids and I have to put them to bed and it's not
It's good. They will
as easy.
grow up.
They'll grow up and then one day they'll be like,
They will do their own stuff.
get out of here.
Well, no, they're gonna take over SweetGeorgia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm already
maybe
seeing
they'll
it. Like,
come and knit.
Michaela's gonna help take over SweetGeorgia, and Russell and Nina, they're all gonna help. Like, they're all gonna be running it.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. Because
One day Nina will be knitting with you
yeah.
here.
Hey, Rachel is here too. Hi, Rachel.
Rachel. Haven't seen you for a while. I didn't see Rachel in Knit City.
No, her husband was working that weekend and then she had the kids. So she only came for like 2 hours, like a tiny little 2-hour window. So I bumped into her at lunchtime on Sunday, which was really, really nice. But yeah, otherwise I don't think she was planning to come. It was like a surprise visit, stealth visit.
That's good that she's still visiting us.
Hi. Teresa's also camera shy.
Teresa's like, in and out.
You guys are about to witness my ADD here. Like, should I continue with the yak and silk or should I switch?
Why do you want to switch?
That's
Because-
a color.
Oh, you want something? No.
So okay, so this is the same color as the yak and silk, but it's dyed on a different fiber. This is dyed on the silk puff. And then I spun one of the bobbins so far. This was what I was going to spin for a fractal example for the school. So I just have to spin this one straight. I guess I could keep going.
Just do whatever you want
Whatever,
to do.
whatever your
Yeah.
heart tells you.
Yeah.
That's always my rule with knitting or spinning or just anything. Like, even though technically fiber and yarn is my job, I never treat it as my job. Like, whatever I'm doing, like if I find I'm ever getting stressed about a project, I kind of put it down. Because knitting is the one thing in my life that I reserve that is not a job. It's not allowed to be stressful. It's not allowed to be, like, it's just pure fun. And I think that's why, like, every single knitter or creator gets this question, like, why don't you sell this on blank, you know? And to me, I just couldn't do that because if you get something that I've knit for you, you know that I love you, like, so much. Like, it's like the ultimate show of love, and I don't want to turn that into a job. And also, I'm a very, very slow knitter, so people would make orders and it'd be like a year later and you'd get it. And it's like, oh, well, my kid outgrew this sweater like a year ago, so.
Everybody say hi to Nora. Hi, Nora.
It's okay. Everybody's camera shy.
No. This is Rachel's daughter Nora is watching as well.
I was gonna say, how do you know everybody's
I
name?
couldn't see her.
I'm magic. No. I think somebody in the chat is asking if we're not doing the podcast anymore. We would love to do the podcast. We just need to find some time to do the podcast.
I was gonna say, if we can clone myself, we'll do it.
Yeah, Leah edits all the podcasts she has for the past year, and then we just got so busy with making content for the school that the podcast had to be kind of put to the side for a minute. But one of the cool things about going to Knit City is that you bump into all these people that you basically want to have conversations with. And so I've already talked to a bunch of people who will be guests in future episodes. We just have to nail down dates where we can actually sit down and have a conversation, and then we shoot those conversations over to Leah, and she puts them together. So it will happen. It will come back. Perhaps, most likely, in the new year. But right now, we got to get some stuff organized.
Well, and the other thing is too, is if anybody ever has like a suggestion of a guest, please email us. Because, you know, there are some really, really great creators out there. And sometimes you just find them randomly on Instagram. Sometimes you just find a pattern and maybe they all of a sudden become popular on Ravelry. But there's just so many people out there that it is really great to, and you know, have suggestions from us to look into.
Yeah, Leah and I were actually talking about some specific ideas for the podcast about like interviewing people who were like just getting started, people who were, you know, making transitions, or people who were starting out with their businesses, and yeah, learning a little bit about that. We were also talking about interviewing some dyers too, specifically for the school, right? Because a lot of people who are in the school are dyeing, and then they're starting to sell things on Etsy and things like that. And to just give people a way of understanding how people scale what they're doing. You know, it's one thing to dye a skein or 2 skeins or 4 skeins, but then to somehow make that into something bigger. Like there's all sorts of other things involved with that. So, you know, some different ideas, different people to talk to.
Well, and I think that's the one kind of thing that I've really, since I started working for SweetGeorgia, I really do, even though I love SweetGeorgia and I buy tons from SweetGeorgia, don't come
You
in
don't
my
have to
house.
say that.
No, but the thing is I think, like I see these like smaller dyers at Knit City, and their stuff is so beautiful. So now, instead of hesitating, I just buy it. Because sometimes there are really sad things, like you see people at Knit City one year, and then next year they're not there. And then you search their name, and it's like, oh, they're out of business.
Yeah.
And I kind of think like, oh, well, what if that had happened to SweetGeorgia, right? Like, what if it hadn't gotten enough support to be a company and to, you know, that kind of stuff. So now, whenever I see something, I don't hesitate, I just grab it, because I want to support that dyer, and then I put it on Instagram, and I tag the creator. And, you know, if it's great stuff, I want other people to know about it. Because there was this one girl at, I forget, it was a couple Knit Cities ago, and she had the cutest logo for her yarn. It was called Tipsy Sheep Yarn. And it was like a little picture of a sheep tipping over, and it had a martini glass. And all her yarn was like based on alcoholic drinks, like Bellini and like margarita and that kind of stuff. And it was such cute yarn. And then I Googled her a few months later, and her shop was closed. And I was so sad. And, you know, I regretted that I didn't buy any of her stuff. And, I mean, I don't, you know, you say, oh, one skein wouldn't make a difference, but maybe if everybody had got one. But, yeah. So.
Yeah, one of my favorite dyers is Pigeon Roof Knits, and she doesn't do it anymore. She just stopped this past year. So sad. Yeah.
I mean,
But she's moving on to other things.
Well, and I didn't know anything about dyeing until I started helping Felicia film the dye classes for School of SweetGeorgia, and just like everybody loves self-striping yarns. Self-striping yarns are amazing. They're so much fun to knit with. Oh my gosh, I had no idea how much incredible work goes into them. Like, ugh. Like, kudos to anybody who dyes self-striping yarn, man, because I don't think I could ever even attempt that.
Yeah.
But
You can spin self-striping yarn.
Yeah,
That's
you
true,
spin
that's
it yourself. That's a
true.
whole lot easier.
I might
well,
just
maybe
do
no, it's
that,
not
but-
easier. It doesn't take necessarily less time.
well, and I just
It's
can't
just
believe that
different.
there's people who wholesale self-striping
Yeah,
yarn. It's just
yeah.
like so much work goes into every little
But the
ball.
effect is so cool. So the
Oh,
people who
it's
do it, I'm just
so
very
neat.
appreciative of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing too, working, when you see the process go behind it, you do kind of see how there really is love in every single skein of yarn, of hand-dyed yarn. Like, it really is a labor of love.
Tabitha is suggesting that we do a group podcast together, and we just sit around and talk about working together.
We totally should.
That would just sit and
But I think, isn't that the theme of our January Make and Hue? Aren't we doing that already?
Don't I have to write something for the January making? Oh gosh.
Oh, no. If Tabby,
that?
if she didn't send you an assignment, then you're okay.
Tabby is on it. She
on
was
it.
messaging me this morning about the next Make and Hue, and she is on it.
She's on it.
She's on it like white on rice, and
The next
Yeah.
one's on collaboration.
Collaboration, correct.
yes. Honestly, I just think Tabitha should have her own podcast. I just want to hear Tabitha talk about anything.
Yeah.
Tabitha has a very comforting voice, in
I
my
know.
opinion. It's always so happy.
So
And
we just
she-
listen to her read a cereal box. And
Oh,
that'll be
yeah,
fun, too.
yeah. That's like,
Maybe she can just read some knitting books for us.
I know, that's like the guy who does, the guy who does 99% Invisible podcast. His voice is just like so relaxing. I could hear him talk about anything. I'd be like, yes, that is very interesting.
99% Invisible, isn't that a design podcast?
Yeah, and they've got a bunch of, they actually just kind of talk about anything. Like, they always just have a different topic, and it's so fascinating. Like, they were even talking about how certain park benches are designed so it's not easy to lie down on, so that you don't have people sleeping on them.
Oh,
like, it's
interesting.
I know, it's like this whole crazy, like, world that you just don't know. Of course, I love podcasts, and I don't know how they're for free, because some of them are just so well made, and like,
Yeah, I totally agree. Charlotte, do you listen to any podcasts? Do you have any podcasts you like?
No, I don't really listen to podcasts, but I watch some YouTube TV. That it's not actually TV, but people will shoot some short series of fun stuff. And I watch those when I'm knitting, because they're not things that you have to really concentrate. And yeah, the TV in our home is not just never really needed. It's bought for video game. And then my brother now has new computer, so he doesn't even need a TV.
well, yeah, Ross and I, we canceled our cable.
Yeah.
Because I felt like everything on cable was kind of the same, and I could just watch stuff on Netflix, or my husband and I like watching a bunch of Japanese animation, and there's like 3 or 4 apps you can get for that. And you only have to pay like $5 or $6 a month, and you can watch as much as you want.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've just kind of enjoyed it.
We just use Netflix too.
Then again, I do miss the Food Network. And I do like going back to my parents' house.
Just watch
and
The Chef's Table. The Chef's Table on Netflix. Way better than the Food Network.
Yeah, but then you miss those like big competition ones. And,
Oh.
yeah.
I don't feel like food should be a competition. I feel like food should be for eating.
Yeah.
Food should be for eating and sharing and enjoying. With the competitive aspect makes me super like nervous.
I also just really
Stressed
like, I don't know why, I like diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy
Oh, yeah.
Fieri. It's so funny. My friend in California has the biggest crush on him.
Yeah.
So she keeps telling me, like, because I guess he has restaurants in the States. So she's like, you're coming down to California and we're going to go to his restaurant. And like, I'd probably get sick off his food though, because it's like so greasy and like so much meat and cheese and stuff. But I still want to go. But yeah, I just like watching those kind of annoying shows. And my mom hates it. She's like, oh, do you have to come here and like commandeer my TV for a week, you know? And
I like to watch those people who can eat a lot, you know?
Man
Is
versus
it-
food.
or is that like the mukbangs?
I don't know, it's a Japanese TV series, like really old. It has to be probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're on YouTube, and so I was just keep watching it and watching. I don't know how good the food is actually, but at least when you see them eating so happy, they make you want to eat happy too.
Well, there's kind of this, I don't know if it's new or not, but there's this thing on YouTube called mukbangs, and I think it comes from, originally it's like from Korea or something like that, so I'm probably not even pronouncing it properly, but it's apparently like food channels where you just watch somebody eat. And it's usually, it's supposed
That
to,
sounds terrible.
it's originally supposed to be a small Asian woman eating a lot of food.
Yeah.
And I guess people find it comforting or something. I don't know. I can't watch it because I don't like food chewing noises, so I can't watch it. But like, yeah. And you know what? I'm just like, well, whatever floats your boat.
It's kind of like
yeah.
just like in the holidays they have those fireplace channels where all you just see is just the fireplace with the wood.
My sister and I freak out when we see the hand.
Yes.
Every hour,
Yes.
the hand that moves the log, and you're like, oh my god, the hand is back. It's So, oh my gosh. But, I mean, you know what? It is nice, and it's kind of nicer, too, because so many houses don't have fireplaces anymore, which is probably good.
Well,
because,
we don't either, so we put it on.
Oh yeah, we live in an apartment building. We can't even have a real tree, so I have to get candles that have like balsam and pine.
Yeah.
Because I want that real Christmas tree smell, but I can't have it. Which makes sense because sometimes people in apartments aren't very smart, and
Yeah.
I don't want the whole building to burn down. Actually, in our old building, we had a problem that, you know how there's like sprinkler heads from the ceilings in buildings like that? Apparently somebody was hanging clothing off of it.
What?
Like they'd take the hanger and hook it onto the sprinkler. So of course it broke from the weight, and one, like I guess 2 floors above us, like the whole apartment flooded. And so now in that building, they have official plates that go on the door that say do not hang anything from the sprinklers. Yes. I should have taken a picture of it because I don't live in that apartment anymore, but true story, don't hang things off of sprinklers, guys.
These things aren't very strong.
Well, no, and I'm just like, what? Like, I understand living in a small space, and also apartments in Vancouver kind of have a thing where you can't dry your clothes out on your balconies, which I think is kind of silly. I mean, whatever.
There's a rule about that?
Yeah, you can't do it.
Vancouver?
Well,
Oh, in
Yeah,
balconies,
in
you
Vancouver.
can't have backyard lines in West Van.
Why?
You can't have like clothesline.
Because it's ugly?
Yeah, yeah.
but it's just
I'm
like,
pretty sure. I could
yes,
be wrong.
I think so.
That's just.
No,
It's like
but-
literally all over Asia. All you see is people hanging their
But
laundry
it's
outside.
smart. Like, it makes sense.
It saves energy.
Exactly.
Like for a city like Vancouver, that's all about saving energy.
I know.
It's so
I
funny.
find it
Yes, but you
so
don't want to
funny.
see other
I know. Yeah.
But what if it's pretty
Well, apparently
underwear?
we don't have that. We don't have that in
Sometimes you have
Richmond.
pretty underwear, you know? Like, oh, I know. And so, I don't know, maybe somebody got super desperate and just decided to hang it off sprinklers. But I remember one of the maintenance guys came in and he's like, yeah, sorry, I have to hang this sign on your door. And I'm like, all right. Somebody got in trouble.
Yeah, so that's why it took 2 days for my sweater to dry because you cannot put it
Oh, yeah.
anywhere near
Oh,
the window.
yeah. I had to prep for that for Knit City. I'm like, oh man, it's like fall in Vancouver. It's gonna take 2 days for this puppy to dry, you know? Like, yeah.
I think there's something wrong with the heating in our house because, like, this morning was really cold, but our house was like freezing cold, like 17
Yeah.
degrees indoors. I
I
don't
was
know.
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, am I just being so just because I'm cold all the time? It's
Yeah.
just because I'm cold all the time. Because Isaac was like, that's fine. And I was like, this is ridiculous. How is it not turned
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
And I think our thermostat is like broken because it's saying it's much warmer than what it
Oh,
feels
really?
like.
Okay.
And okay, it's just me.
No,
I'm pretty
ours,
sure mine
ours
is
says
just
that
me,
it's 17
but-
degrees inside, but it's set to be 21 degrees. But then
Oh,
it's
it's
just
still not-
it's just not turning on. I don't know why it's just not working. So maybe like the pilot light maybe it's gone out. Yeah, I'm gonna go home. It's gonna be freezing cold at home.
You guys were talking about those, the fireplace, the fireplace shows that you can
Yes.
watch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have you ever seen Nick Offerman's?
No,
No, is it like funnier?
I
Sits
can
there
imagine.
With, like, a glass of scotch.
For an
And
hour.
he just and there's a fire. This is really good, yeah. That's a good one.
But then you're just basically looking at him.
But the thing is, it's impressive. I mean,
Does he
I've never
stare at
watched
you
it
the
long
whole
enough
time?
to know, like, to see how long it was when it looped. I can't remember how long it was that was actually recorded. But yeah, like, just sits there with his, and then, adjusts.
Adjust, yeah, gotta adjust the
But
legs.
yeah, otherwise it just sits there, takes a sip every so
Does
often.
he like stare
Isaac was
directly
quite
at
excited.
you? Like, does he maintain eye contact right
I
at
think
you?
it's just kind of, generally looking at the camera. It's
Okay,
just-
'cause
but
that
it's
would-
very-
yeah.
Isaac loves Nick Offerman because, of course, he's a woodworker, so
Yes,
it's what Isaac
yes.
is fun.
Yeah.
So Jenny was like so excited about, oh my gosh.
That could
it's
actually
great.
be pretty funny.
I mean, I'm never really surprised anymore at what shows they have because, I mean, one of my husband's favorite internet shows was Will It Blend? Like, and they would just take this super powerful blender and they would just throw things in it, like an iPhone 6.
no.
It's like, can you blend an iPhone 6?
Oh, that's terrible.
Can you blend this? And it's just like, and then because he told me about that, and I'm like, that's just stupid. And then of course I log on later, and I'm like, will it blend? Like, does it work? You know?
Do people like, obviously, audience suggestion, like, or people
Oh yeah,
participate and
yeah,
suggest?
yeah. People like say like, oh, try and blend this, try and blend that, and Yeah, surprisingly, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's just like, all right. I mean, I guess it's better that people watch that than try it themselves, you know? Like, I guess
Yeah, at least
that's better,
you
you
need
know?
a proper gear to
Yeah,
actually do those.
well, exactly, right? Like, if you're operating the blender, like, you gotta have, like, eye protection on, because, like, I don't
Maybe it
know.
will explode.
Oh, yeah. That's like, you also see videos of people deep frying turkeys and stuff. Since Canadian Thanksgiving is coming up, don't deep fry your
I think we're
turkey,
gonna
don't
try and
do it.
barbecue a turkey this year.
Oh, that's much safer.
Is it?
These people.
I have no idea.
Well, I think it's safer than dipping a frozen turkey in like a giant vat of oil.
We're total
It's so scary.
we're total barbecue newbies. We don't know how to do this.
Isaac was just asking, he's like, it's my sister. Should we smoke a turkey? Because we have a Bradley smoker. But from a friend of ours who works for Bradley Smokers. And then in turn, and then we'll smoke one. I was like, oh dear, no.
Can I come over to your house for Thanksgiving? That sounds delicious.
Wait a minute, this weekend is Thanksgiving.
I know. Yeah, it is.
Are you guys doing anything? Oh, that's why you're going to Kamloops.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to
I
Kamloops.
get it now. I get it.
Even though I don't know how well prepared we are, because my mom was like, do you want to do a Thanksgiving dinner? And I'm like, I guess? Like, I don't know. So it might be kind of a last minute thing.
Gee, I
But-
should find out if I'm doing a family thing. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I must be.
We have Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
It starts.
I'm just sad because it's already October and I haven't made an apple pie yet. And I just really want to.
I have a bunch of apples. If anybody wants some news.
We should.
You have what?
I have so many apples. We have an apple tree in our backyard.
Oh, nice.
We
Oh,
should
there's an
have.
apple tree?
We
Yeah,
should have
so
an
Apple challenge.
Yeah, I was about to say we should have an apple challenge at the
Oh,
studio
yeah. Oh, exactly.
because I love pies.
We can do that.
That's
Because
all.
actually, I was planning to do a challenge after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do like a little apple challenge or.
Right after Knit City, after we finished taking down on Sunday, I went to Safeway and I bought myself a pumpkin pie. Because we were talking about the pumpkin spice latte and how like it makes you feel terrible afterwards. But I was still like, I'm
does.
craving pumpkin. So I went and bought a whole pumpkin pie.
I thought it was just me because of my.
Pumpkin pie is okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make you feel as bad.
Yeah. I thought it was just me because of my stomach issues that I can't have pumpkin spice lattes. But
It
when
just makes you feel gross.
it
yeah.
does. Like my friend texted me and she's like, "Oh, I thought of you because I had a pumpkin spice latte and let's say the results weren't good, you know." And she's like, "So I kind of know how you feel now." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, so it's not just me. Like it is, I don't know."
But it just, then what would you have for like a nice afternoon treat? If it's not a pumpkin spice latte, what's a good afternoon drink? to
Oh,
have?
there's a sweet potato latte now.
Sweet
Sweet
potato,
potato latte?
Well, I guess
would
like
drink
it's like
that.
pumpkin, right?
I'd drink that.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sweet potatoes are delicious.
Is that from Starbucks?
No, it's from Yama Cafe, very close to PNE. So I went
Oh,
after
okay,
Sunday.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think London
But I
Fogs.
think a lot of Japanese or Korean cafe will have this offer.
Makes sense.
So Roseanne is asking, could you talk about your wheels and why you like the one that you use? Okay, I can go first. I started, when I first started spinning, I had the Ashford Joy. That was the first wheel I ever got, the Ashford Joy double treadle. It's a folding wheel. It's amazing. It comes in a bag. The Ashford Joy is great. However, when I was spinning with the Ashford Joy, sometimes the flyer would unspin itself, unscrew itself, and fall into your lap. So that was very disconcerting, and I didn't like that about that. But otherwise, like the Ashford Joy was awesome, and you can spin anything. Like you can spin thick yarn, you can spin frog hair on that wheel. It was great. But then the next wheel that I got was the Shacked Matchless double treadle, and it was in the maple color, and I used that one for probably like 10 years, and then I sold that one to Rachel. Rachel has it. And then I got the same matchless, but this one happens to be cherry wood. And the wood is just nice color. I like it. It's a very sturdy wheel, very solid wheel. You can get different whorls, so that way you can spin a whole range of different kinds of yarns, from very, very fine yarns to super thick yarns. You can get a big fat flyer for this if you wanted to. Like, it's just, I love this wheel. But it's not particularly portable, so that is a little bit of a challenge. How about you? Yeah, you have a portable wheel.
Well, actually, part of the reason why I didn't get into spinning was, number one, I didn't really know anything about it. And number two, I just thought that I have no space. I have absolutely no space. When I first started spinning, my husband and I lived in a 1-bedroom, 500 square foot apartment. And I just thought that, you know, I had a cat at the time who was kind of destructive. And I thought there's absolutely no way that I have no space for this. I can't do it. But then I took some spinning lessons from Katrina at the studio here, and I saw this. Well, I chose this wheel to sit by because it's blue, so that was my genius choosing. And then I realized that I got to take it home. I don't know why I thought for my spinning lessons that I would just spin 1 day a week and then know how to do it. I didn't realize that the renting also meant that you got to bring it home. And so I realized that the wheel I had chosen was a sidekick, and you could just pop the treadles up, and it would only be about like I think it's only about maybe 5 to 6 inches wide, and it's not super tall, so it easily just folds up and fits into my closet. So that's what I really like about my wheel, is that it's portable. It's blue. I like blue. and it's not really that heavy either. Like, I have a special bag that I bought for it as well, and it's insanely easy to bring it everywhere. And I just love that it's, you know, that it's portable and it doesn't take up that much space. So even if you don't have a large space and you think, oh, you know, I can't do this because I can't have a huge wheel in my living room, you can totally do it because you can just get something like the sidekick, and it doesn't take up that much space at all.
Yeah, it folds up quite flat, and then it has like a shoulder strap, and you can just carry it over your shoulder.
Oh yeah,
which is
it's
great.
so easy, and it's really sturdy too. Because like I was really nervous about it at first. I was really worried I was going to damage it or something, but they're so sturdily made that, like, I mean, when I was leaving this morning, I bumped it into the wall when I was leaving, and it's totally fine. It's all good.
That looks so nice,
I like
Charlotte.
that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
That's
It
beautiful.
looks like cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Oh, Katrina said when I
It
saw
has all the colors I like. She knows me. She knows me.
It looks like a fluffy, happy cloud.
And then how about you, Brigid? I know that that's not your
This is not my
your
wheel.
wheel.
And I am the classic case of the person that took a spinning class years and years ago and thought that I would try it. And I'm sitting here and thinking of the work that I should be doing. No, and then so in turn I was just getting, trying to adjust the tension to get it to pull in. Anyway, so I think I'm the person that should be signing up for Katrina's class. But it was so fun actually just to watch and like hear the whir of it. I apologize, I'm going to stop and now leave. I'll get back to some emails I have to answer. But yeah, it's even just like being around it, you like feel like I can do it because you see it. No, I can't, so I'm going to take the class. I should take the class.
It's just
But
practice.
it's a lot of fun.
I haven't touched my wheel in like 3 to 4 months, and I'm just finally getting back into it, and my single is finally looking somewhat normal.
This one is the ladybug though, the one that I didn't
Yeah.
use to its full potential. It is very lovely. I've had a good time here with it.
Well,
The
I
ladybug-
apologize that I didn't do you justice.
Where's your
I'm
ladybug?
so sorry.
That's the one thing I was kind of sad about, because
They have a ladybug.
yeah, they have a ladybug hidden on it somewhere.
It
It
was there when I opened it.
Yeah, that's the special thing about the ladybug, is they put the ladybug in the different spot every
It's
time.
right here.
It's hiding back there. Mine doesn't have a ladybug on it.
Because yours is not a ladybug. Yours is a sidekick.
Well, it needs, if it's a sidekick, it needs like Robin Hood or something, or Robin from
that
Batman
would
or
be
something,
good.
because he's a sidekick.
Oh, I had no idea.
I know too
The
much
whole
about
time
that.
Don't
it
we
was
have a whole bunch of
there.
Ashford Joys in here too? Where are they?
One of the Joy got rented already.
Oh, okay.
So someone that signed up for the class already got it.
Oh, okay. Oh, took it with them
Yeah.
to get
and
ready.
then we have one more not open.
Oh, okay. And then 2 sidekicks up there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Because I
sidekicks.
found that people like Sidekick and Ladybug more, so I opened those for the class.
Right. Yeah. And Charlotte, what wheel are you using here?
So I'm using a traditional.
Is it Ashford traditional?
I don't see Ashford, so I don't know.
Oh, well,
So I don't know who traditional it is from. Yeah, but it's a traditional wheel. and I got it just because I like the shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
There's
that
no
fairy
other
tale
reason.
wheel
Yeah,
shape. Yeah, the Saxony shape.
Yeah.
And yours is a single treadle, but sometimes
Yes.
I see you use both feet on the treadle.
Yeah.
And that
I
works
can
too.
change feet. I can just do a different feet if I'm
Yeah.
tired. So,
Bye, Brigid. Bridget's going back to work now, like a responsible
I'm so
adult.
sorry for people that are trying to get a hold of me and I'm not answering.
Like emails are coming in.
You're here.
They're watching me sit here and they're like, just give up. Go back to work.
No, never.
yeah. It was a long story to tell getting this wheel, but Rachel and Katrina will testify me of how hard for me to actually bought a wheel. So I started spinning with Rachel maybe 3 years ago. When I started SweetGeorgia, not soon after, then Felicia showed me how to do a single, and I got hooked. But then she couldn't tell me how to buy, so I got signed up with Rachel's class when she's teaching SweetGeorgia. And then I keep telling her I need to buy a wheel ever since then, and I never got one until this year. In Fibers West, I saw this wheel. It's a second hand, and got repolished. So I think the person that sold me this wheel saying this is like a 70s or 80s wheel, so it's a really really old one.
Yeah.
But then he got it done like so well done. Like it looks very new, and then it feels nice and it's kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got it right on spot with a really really good price. And I'm happy with it.
That's good.
It's really
Before
pretty.
that, I was using Joy, and I love Joy. Joy is really awesome, and it got folded up. It can get tucked away, and it comes with two bobbin holder, so I can do 2-ply very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like Joy when I had Joy, but that one is the one I borrowed from the studio, so I don't actually own it. Yeah. So now I take ownership to this wheel, and I'm pretty happy with it. The only trouble I have is that when I stop, it kind of flip back every time. Like
It doesn't stop
Yeah, it
when you
doesn't
say stop.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
stop. Yeah. So that's my only trouble with it, but otherwise it's great. Yeah. And the bobbin is a bit smaller than I used to have because Joy has a larger bobbin, and I can fit a 100-gram braid onto one bobbin very easily, and I could even have spare. But for this one, I think for one braid is a bit too much. Yeah. So I need to break it in half.
Yeah, that's actually what kind of inspired me to just buy a wheel, was because I thought I would just rent one from SweetGeorgia and then have my own bobbins. But then I realized how expensive bobbins are. And once I realized how expensive bobbins were, I'm like, that's it. I'm just buying the wheel. I'm just going to save up for the wheel and buy it, you know. Because, yeah, I think, well, because I just use the plastic bobbins. I don't have any nice wooden ones. And even the plastic ones are like $45 each.
Yeah.
$50 each. I mean, they're fine. They're just kind of, they're an investment piece. Like I'd say buying a wheel in itself is just an investment piece. It's going to last forever, you know. Like I'm probably going to have to bequeath this to somebody in my will, you know, and be like, okay, this person gets it or something, because as, you know, as Charlotte was saying, hers is from the 70s or the 80s, like, and it's a beautiful wheel, and it works perfectly fine, and it's so quiet, and yeah.
I know,
is
like
cool.
a lot of people on the chat are talking about the Lendrums, because a lot of people have Lendrums, and Lendrums are great wheels. When I was teaching at Place des Arts, that they had like a whole army of just Lendrum wheels, and we wanted to bring Lendrums in here, but we can't because they're made by Gord Lendrum, and I guess he's just too busy to answer his email, and it's just really, really, really hard to get. Yeah, it's just like an access issue. Otherwise, it would be nice to have them here.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Lendrum wheel.
Really?
Or,
They're like tall and skinny. Tall and skinny castle style wheels. They're like light maple. They're very portable. The whole thing breaks down, goes into a bag. It's really a nice wheel.
Do you see there's a comment from Art? Hello from Finland.
Whoa, hello.
hello.
Like the computer is like this far away, so I can't type anything. So I'm looking on my phone at the chat, and I hope I'm not missing anything. She says, I have a ladybug, but dreaming of a matchless in the future. And a ladybug, and a sidekick, and a Lendrum. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And also a traditional. Katrina's selling her traditional, if anybody's interested in another wheel.
I would also like to comment, I'm noticing an enabling pattern because I noticed that Charlotte's spinning story was very similar to mine.
About
That-
what?
Well, that you were saying, oh yeah, Leah, you should take the spinning class. It all started with Felicia. Did everybody notice that? I just want,
Charlotte learned to spin over 1 lunch hour.
Charlotte's special.
Yeah.
we can't all be Charlottes.
I know.
Like, oh
It's
my gosh,
kinda
Charlotte.
crazy.
Yeah, and the speed that Charlotte and Teresa knit at is just amazing. I'm always blown away. I think every time I look at Charlotte's Instagram, she's got a new finished product, a new finished object, and it's amazing. I think she must knit in her sleep. That is my new theory.
I did switch to Continental, and I think it is totally faster. Hi, good morning. Oh wait, you know what? So we were gonna do something, and we were gonna do some giveaways actually.
Oh yeah.
I was having dreams last night about how we were gonna do the giveaway, and I still actually don't know how we're gonna do the giveaway. So I think what we can do is, let me give me a second. We can give away a couple of things. We can give away one of these braids of the yak and silk fiber. So we have some of this, and so I can send that out to somebody. That can be one prize. And then the other prize that we wanted to give away is we wanted to give away 1 annual membership to the School of Sweet Georgia. And so I think that maybe the only fair way that I can do it is maybe like the first person to email me directly telling me which prize you want. The first email that I get for each one of those things, I'll send it out to you. I think that that's the easiest way to do it, because I thought we were going to try to do a draw, but I don't know how many people are in the chat room, and I don't know how to enumerate people in the chat room. So just email me, and the first person who emails me will get the prize.
And then Felicia's phone exploded.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Okay, let's see who's the first one.
It was the one with its painting and its squares. It's called Sheets. That's a pattern. I want to please.
Oh, yeah, I should say what my email is. It's Felicia@SweetGeorgiaYarns.com. I don't know why I assume that everybody just knows my email. Felicia, Felicia @SweetGeorgiaYarns.com. That's great. Yes.
Next time we'll have to think of a trivia question or something.
Yeah. Okay,
Like
next
when-
time, Leah, you're in charge of the giveaway and,
Oh,
and the
shoot.
trivia question.
Maybe
Well.
you should let people say
Live.
what kind of fiber is your favorite spin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
some
that would
time
be.
to answer.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that would be good. Essay questions.
An essay question.
I will make people write
me
essay
an
questions.
essay, and I will select. No.
Oh man, I just made myself more work, but that's okay.
Next time. Are you guys gonna come spin tomorrow night too?
Yes.
I really want to,
Yeah.
but I have to clean the house and stuff because we're gonna be on the road on Friday.
Oh,
and-
yeah, of course.
And this week has just gone by so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I was saying, I thought today would be a lot more simpler, but then I realized that I have to go pick up some pet supplies at the same time. So, yeah. Knit City, man, it just makes everything just such a whirlwind. But it's so fun, so it's totally worth it. I'm already excited for next year. They've already posted the date of the next Knit City, and I'm already counting down.
I'm glad it's once a year because I need to save up money.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. I mean, I would do it every weekend, but
There's Fibers West very soon.
Oh, well, because I guess Fibers West is usually
Fiber.
in March.
So, yeah, around March.
Yeah, it's kind of around the early spring, yeah. Well, and I was excited because this year was the first year that I actually went to Fibers West because, I mean, before I had just never been a spinner, so I just didn't go. Even though there is a lot of yarn and stuff there too, so I think even if you're not a spinner, you can still go and have fun. But, yeah.
I think this year was really good. It's so
It was
far,
fun.
this year.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just because I found this wheel.
Yeah, that was pretty, yeah.
Oops. Where's my... Boop. Okay, so I'm checking my email, and the first person to email me was Megan Likey. Megan. Puddle Glum. You're the first, but you just said prize, so I don't know which one you want. So let me know if you want the Yak and Silk fiber or if you want the membership. Okay, just send me a comment, and then I can do that.
That's in there.
Yeah, hi, Megan.
So this one's discounted. This one's even on the second. We don't have this one. And we have a regular price hold on as well.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So Megan's gonna take the membership. So that means that the next person who emailed me was Katrina, and you get the Yak and Silk. There you go.
Like Katrina needs more fiber.
Yeah, protein needs more.
Fantastic. Well, you guys, I think we're almost like over time. We're totally over time.
Oh, that's good because I'm only got a little bit left.
Oh, you guys, Leah finished your fiber.
Almost.
Yay.
Got a little tail here.
Congratulations, that's awesome. Okay, we'll spin to there.
Now I've gotta let it rest for a couple days.
then we gotta
and then I can
Put
ply
it away.
together.
So if you're fine with those.
Gotta keep it away
Thank
from
you guys so much for joining us today. This was super fun. We should totally do this more often, right?
We should.
Yeah.
We should do a SGY spin and knit night or something.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this at like a knit night?
No, it doesn't have to be a night. It can be a.
We could just like choose a
A
day or
lunchtime?
something. Yeah.
A lunchtime?
So then Teresa and other people can join us.
Yeah.
And Heather said she want to learn how to knit. Like she want to knit a hat.
Jessica wants to learn how to knit too.
Yeah.
Well, and I need to learn how to crochet because
Yeah.
I've attempted it before, but it
Yeah.
didn't go too well. Oh yes.
She's really good.
Oh yeah, Jessica was showing me that really cute like bunny backpack she crocheted herself, and it was so cute. It was like a little bunny bum backpack, and it was so cute.
That was nice and relaxing.
I have so much fluffy
I think
fiber.
this is like, we need to do a whole bunch of spinning right after Knit City to like decompress.
So now I need some help.
Okay.
This is where we need help. So am I starting with this bit or am I starting with that?
Katrina says she can teach you to crochet, Leah.
Yay! I will bake her a
Awesome.
pie in exchange.
Can you bring said pie to the studio and then we can all eat the pie?
Yeah, I should. You know, I should do that because like, otherwise, like that's kind of sometimes why I don't want to make a pie because then it's just me and Ross, and then it's like we don't need half a pie each.
Well, we always welcome food.
That's very true. That is the really good thing about the studio is I can bring it and it'll disappear and be appreciated.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Okay, I should go. I'm gonna finish this fiber and then go and press the button.
Oh, I'll
we
sit here
go.
and rest my ankles because my ankles are like, we haven't done this in so long.
Oh, Katrina's saying, do you want pie for the spin-in tomorrow?
I can't make a pie.
Sounds good.
Oh my
You're
god.
bringing one? That's awesome.